it's a hand-in-hand thing. It's just like a scenario of insisting that, I mean, teachers teach well when you have students who are unwilling to attend classes or to learn or do assignments.
Exactly.
You see, then you are not going. So we are saying that the law itself is a very good law. It was done with a very good intention. Trader is not made unemployed, which is a fantastic thing, and we all applaud for that particular law. But you see, that in and of itself is not enough. I mean, why are they going around clamping down on the shops? Because that is part of enforcing the law. The law on its own will not go and lock the Nigerian shops. And we are shops owned by Chinese and so on. They should also start to do some introspection about how they handle their business. That is making these foreigners who come on our land look attractive in the business space. If you don't do that, these shops will be locked, but these guys will find an alternative and the Ghanaians will flock there. Let me give you a typical scenario. Look at us buying food and other items in the traffic from the street hawkers. If the hawkers were not there, I don't think anybody would tell the trotro driver to slow down, I want to buy plantain chips. So passing a law that is illegal for street hawking to go on is not enough. We must get them out of that place. And the one who opens his window to buy, we must find the person, drag the person out, and punish them. When
Exactly.
the law works in its totality, it's the same thing we are saying, that this law is great. It will protect the Ghanaian trader. But if the Ghanaian trader is selling a phone cover that a Nigerian or a Nigerian or a Chinese man will give to me for 15 cedis, and the Ghanaian is selling for 35 cedis, and I hear that the Nigerian shops have been locked, but they are behind some baller dumpster in my area, I'll crawl my way to that dumpster and go and buy it nonetheless. Because if you I don't know about your workplace at Dominion, but at least where I used to work, if you come to the public office where I used to work in the center of Accra, you see many cars that are parked in our car park there. They are not coming to transact business. They are not coming for architectural drawings. In their booth, they have suits, shirts, tie, because they know that that place corporate. That's what we wear. Some have children's socks. Some have Johnson & Johnson product, because those there will have babies. They have come with diapers. So somebody is on a mobile shop. He has no shop in any Accra anywhere. All they are doing is they are advertising on their status and maybe some GGB somewhere. So when you call them, they are carrying, and at the booth there, they are carrying the whole supermarket. What I'm saying is that we can get these guys out, right? If they start transacting from their booths and all these sort of, some are transacting on wheelbarrows. They put some small, sound system there. They are playing some music. So it gets your attention. Hey, what is he selling? Oh, I have socks, I have belts, I have boxer shorts, I have this. And it's a Nigerian man. You get what I'm saying? And I'm saying that if we are our pricing is competitive, and these guys even are selling from their booths and their wheelbarrow, we will not go there. We'll go to the Ghanaian shop, because what's the point? I remember yesterday I was somewhere with my wife, and I said, "Oh, won't you buy this Gary?" You know, and she said, "Oh, there's no need. Let's buy from our area." So why are you saying that? I said, "Oh, the one at the market is 28 cedis. The one in our area is just 30 cedis. 2 cedis. I don't see why I should pick a car and go all the way to the market, and in and out to the market will be more than that 2 cedis. So if I will give that 2 cedis to the provision shop within our area, all the better. Walking won't cost me 2 cedis." And it makes sense. But can you imagine if the market was 28 cedis, the person in our area is selling it for 42 cedis?
For 40 cedis, right?
I would jog. I would do a morning walk. I'll use it for fatigue, exercise, and go to the market. Oh, yeah. You see, because everybody gravitates towards what works with their budget. You get my point? And I think that the law, that's what we are saying. The law must work hand in hand with a certain attitudinal change. Right. You remember recently that one of the drivers' associations were going to increase the prices, and then the GPI people came. We will not cooperate. You see, that is strong consumer protection advocacy going on there. Right. And I think that Ghana needs a very strong consumer protection agency backed by the state. What we have by Kopi Capito is its own initiative. The state must be there to also protect the citizens from the traders. In spite of the law, they must also protect us from the traders, so that we will have a very good, like what Pastor
commensal relationship. Yes.
Exactly. If you want to do certain type of bulk buying, there are places you go to, and they are foreign owned. If you want to look, recently in my area, along the route where I used to go to town, this company, this High Sense, I think they did some promotion.
Yes, Hisense, yeah. Yeah.
Look, as early as 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m.,
Yeah,
when I'm on my way to the studio, one open, people have queued. They have queued like they are going to vote. They've queued. And so now the security guys, yes, the security guys, they have to let the people go in batches. So let's say a batch of 50 goes in, then they all exit. Then another batch of 50 goes in, like that. And they are there till like 7, 8 p.m. The queue never abates.
Wow.
You see, yes, in the dust of the road construction going on the road. Dust is some people's nostrils. Their hairs have turned brown, but they are there. Why? Because of competitive pricing that the sale is offering. It's not there's no TV shop by them. So some are coming far away from Dansoman. But they still know the ones in town, the pressure is more. The one at Oibino, the population is sad that they are not plenty socially.
Yes.
So if you go there, they come 5 a.m. and they come and wait. No, the other TV shops, the microwave, whatever, electronic shops by them, but they are coming to this place. So what I'm saying is that let's make them, let's enforce the laws, but let's understand that it will become counterproductive for us as traders, as Ghanaian traders, if we don't do something about our attitude.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I would have said, I mean, as a marketing person, I would have said, okay, we are doing prestige pricing. If you look at the Ghanaian people, I mean, look at what DStv was doing to us until the Minister of Communication came up and said anything. I mean, I can say we were okay. Ghanaians are rich, so please don't downplay our riches for any of these things. But yeah, I mean, I agree that we need some attitudinal change to match up with these foreign vendors. Let's get on with education now. And just when we're trying to fix the educational system, trying to inculcate some new curriculum, and get people to learn right and grow right and become better parliamentarians and leaders in society, WASI reports this, that house mistress is assaulted for preventing students from cheating. Amazing, right? The police have intervened to maintain order at Wesley Senior High School in Konongo, Ashanti region, after some students allegedly went on a rampage and pelted stones at the residence of the senior house mistress. This was after the house mistress confronted one of the candidates sitting for this year's West African Senior High School Certificate Examinations, WASI, for allegedly cheating during examinations. In an interview, the house mistress or the headmistress, Reverend Agnes Gazy, explained that after the Christian Religious Studies CRS paper on Friday, September 5th, a male student verbally assaulted the house mistress for preventing him from cheating. The student was made to apologize and was subsequently taken through counseling. However, on the night of Saturday, September 7th, the stone pelting incident occurred, same school. She highlighted that investigations are ongoing to identify the students involved. The headmistress, however, assured that the situation is under control, adding that the police have intervened and the examinations are proceeding smoothly. I have seen and I've heard, but for this, I don't know, to want to pelt stones at, the residence of your senior house mistress because she says do the right thing. I don't know that I don't have it anywhere in my fiber to want to have that courage to do that. This same WASI, I think that's BC. Yes, the reports that are coming out about cheating, where some people pay just an amount of 60 cedis to get invigilators to show AI questions, AI solved answers, right, to students during examination. I really don't know where we're going. One end, we brought PTA back, trying to see how we can make the schools work. Another, we're trying to get them good food and all of that. Because of this free SHS, there's been all that brouhaha that's going on. Then the students themselves seem to have a certain mindset. And I don't know where we're going, where the educational system is going. Who are the people we're churning out to become leaders and company owners and parliamentarians in the future, if these are the reports that we are getting today?
I can't even imagine doing something like that, baby.
I'm actually telling you. I don't know.
Well,
I can't imagine me pelting stone at my senior house. I'm dead. I'm finished. Hey.
You know, but somebody, the reality is that, you see, and several times we've said this in the studio, that all these things are a direct reflection of what our larger society has become.
Yes.
You understand? Because, you know, you can look at it from all our various sectors in the sphere of politics. Those who insult, those who cheat and steal at the elections are the ones that are rewarded with political positions.
Right?
And we come to power. Exactly. You know, when you come to beyond the politics, the musician that can be the most profane, have the most sexually suggestive videos are the ones that are rewarded. So see, we've created a culture where we have two truths. The truth we all uphold, and then the truth of succeeding through the rebellious path. And both successes are celebrated. You understand? Yes. So that is why this young man does not even have a conscience in doing what they did, because ultimately the end justifies the means. And don't be surprised. I wish we had a picture of this person's speech. Let's keep it. And you will watch. This person will rise up in student politics, become an MP, and become somebody very, quote unquote, influential. Very
important.
Soon. Yes, unless they repent and come to know Christ, you know, and are truly discipled to change. I'm telling you, and most of our political leaders have had a history like that. They were terrible guys as vandals. Some of them were this way they talk, and they can't draw the line between arrogance and pride and rudeness and all those things. I've been seeing some of these young ministers demonstrating now. They were doing it in their student days, you get it? And then we hailed them. Don't pull you, then don't pull you the shaking head.
Yeah, man.
You know, the headmaster rather, the headmaster and the headmistress rather is ashamed for touching don't pull you there. And that's how we get it. And you get some parents even going to attack some of these teaching staff for even trying to put their children in the right place. I remember one of my kids one day was misbehaving towards their teacher. I mean, immediately she saw me at the school gate. She broke down in tears, held my hand and said I should go with her to go and see the teacher. She knelt down begging profusely. I got the headmistress involved. That I don't know whether you've been told or not. This is what she's done. And I'm prepared to come to the assembly tomorrow morning and deal with her publicly in front of the whole school. She begged her. Everybody was now begging. The demon left her. We didn't have to organize any deliverance service. We didn't need any special child counseling. Because I didn't go there to reinforce her actions. I went there to let her know, even though you've even owned up, there are penal measures for your conduct. So it was the plea of the school now that made me resent. And every night they'd be there, she would come to Daddy, I'm so sorry about this thing I did, I embarrassed you. Every night then I'm so sorry about this and that. You see, because these are the little things. We must start to teach our children values. And it is difficult for us to teach it when we are in a society that celebrates, truant conduct. So I mean, my apologies to this house mistress. Yeah, but it looks like this is the world we have today, honestly. And that's why I was laughing so hard. I mean, I'm angry with you because you are stopping me from sinning. You know, I have to do the wrong thing and standing in my way. And we see, but Pastor B, look at it even in our traffic. We are all in a line. Somebody will use the shoulder, come and cross you. Me, I have an unspoken policy. Anybody will give you away, but not me. Through Christ who strengthens. One day I was at the Achimota station runabout. Achimota police station runabout, and one man was doing that. I think he had Harvard or Princeton sticker on his car. So I wrote down and said, "Say, what you are doing does not require any intelligence or wisdom whatsoever. In fact, anybody with the lowest of IQ can do that. You shouldn't be doing that, especially considering who your alma mater is. I'm seeing that I went to Tech. I didn't go to whatever where you went to. This is an Ivy League school, and you are behaving like that. I don't think that the vice chancellor or chancellor will be very happy to see that. Look, the man parked. It was a Corolla. He parked there. I heard there was meditating. He parked there more than 10 cars past. The man hadn't moved. I was watching him in my rearview mirror. The ministration had entered him.
The demon was out.
Obi awako haba twade away.
Twade away.
Enfata kra.
That's my submission on it. It's sad, but we are gradually slipping, and it's not pleasant.
Oh my Lord, Biadela.
Yeah.
I think my main contribution here is the second part of what Reverend BB said. I think we are beginning to outsource responsibility, the actual responsibility of raising up children, to schools and churches, and I don't think that should be. Parents are the primary players in raising up children, not schools, not churches. The reason children are becoming, 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 2 says in the latter days, children will be disobedient to parents. It's something that has been said, and so we need to, as Christians and people who believe in the Word of God, take measures against these things. I see a lot of my people, my colleagues and my contemporaries, just give their children certain kinds of liberties. And there's a Jesuit saying, Jesuit, the priest. There's a Jesuit saying that says, give me the first 7 years and I'll give you an adult. Meaning the first 7 years of a person's life mostly determines how they grow up and what they turn out to be later. And we don't, it's the part of our kids' lives these days that we don't really pay attention to. We outsource our responsibility to Coco Melon and what was the other one? The other channel.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob. These people, these shows are beginning to introduce some really weird things. Talking back to parents, standing up for your rights. LGBTQ stuff.
Yeah.
Why does my 4-year-old child need to stand up to me
symbols.
for? I will beat it out of you. Are standing up to who? You are standing up to who? To me. Look, we need to go back to belts and canes. The Bible says that the rod will not kill the child. It won't kill the child. My mother used to use slippers. You are more afraid of your... It works. Slippers. Now, they said don't go and play the football. You've gone to play, you come. She welcome you with open hands with slippers behind her. And the slippers is going on your face. On your face. That's where the slippers is going. It has made our mind correct. We are respectful children these days. When we see people we meet, we say good afternoon, please, good morning, please. Even in our old age, yes, the trauma has worked. We are traumatized for life, and it's making us sit up when we see all this. These children have been encouraged, given liberty. At some point, I really wanted to even speak to Papa about the youth church itself. Because sometimes I think that the fact that we have separate churches for the youth is a problem for me. It's beginning to look like a problem for me because there were times when we were growing up, when we saw our parents in church lifting hands, praising God, crying, kneeling down. We observed them. And when you see your parents going through that motion for God, it teaches you what you should do. And there's a role model right there. You see somebody older than your mother who is supposed to be having rheumatism but has knelt down to pray. We don't even know how to respond to prayer anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know how to. You come to the youth church, we are praying and somebody is pressing food.
And they are loitering. They are loitering. Most of the time they are loitering till there's a choreography or something that would keep them shouting. I want them back. Oh, yeah. That's all.
Drama. We have the youth church now where when you come into the church, majority of the people are taking notes on their phones. Majority. And I keep insisting, if you're in my church and I'm passionate you, you will buy a notebook.
Yeah.
We will customize notebooks for you with the church logo behind. You will use pen. Because when you use there's lighting in the church, which is good enough for all of us. When you use the phone, you'll be switching between WhatsApp and I can't trust you to put off your data, to turn off your data. I can't trust you. And I know you will not do it. So use the book, and there's something that it does to your brain. There's something that it does to your mind. This is all I'm saying. The responsibility of raising up children is for parents, not teachers, not Sunday school teachers, not pastors. It's for people at home. And yesterday I was discussing with someone and saying that, you see, these dating problems that you are having, that you are entering a wrong relationship, you are coming back, then your boyfriend is doing this over. The devil is setting you up to give birth to children who will be left alone to become menace to society. Every single person you see who is a drug addict, who is a thief, one of my colleagues, his phone got snatched in traffic. I don't know why he rolled down his glasses, because he doesn't even normally do that. He was, and the traffic I'm talking about is what's the name of that place? Flower Pot, right after Action. That place, I don't even know how. He said the person came out of the underbridge area, snatched the phone and cut his hand with something. So he has a scar. And it was a new iPhone 16 Pro that he has bought.
Oh,
the latest iPhone. And the person just dashed in and he's in the car. What will he do? Will he get down and chase the person? It's traffic. You know, these people, all of them were given birth by someone. They all came from families. And the reason they will resort to these things is that they too, they have desires. They see V8. They also want to drive. They also want to live good. They have to eat. They have to survive. And because they don't have good company around them, they're influenced by people who are bad, who also are like them, who have come from various backgrounds where it didn't work for them. This boy who thought it wise, hey, I can't imagine it. My housemaster's, first of all, what am I even doing there? At my housemaster's place. What am I even doing there? I'm even afraid to go there. Why are you going there? Then you are not even going there. You are going there with a bunch of people holding stones to throw. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Now, but is it who will hear this story from me? In whose presence will I be innocent? Is it my father or my mother? I'm dead. I'm dead. My parents will come to the school. If they tell them, they'll come to the school with a coffin to come and carry me home. It's not going to end well for me. But this child knows that there is nobody that is going to say no.
Right.
There's nobody that's going to reprimand him. There's nobody that is going to say, hey, what you did was wrong. They are empowered in such a brazen way. Hi, God save our generation. It just keeps getting worse. And I don't know via the life you've noticed this year, we've heard a lot of stories of shootings at secondary schools, violence at secondary school. At O'Reilly, somebody stabbed someone to death. You know, secondary schools.
Wait, hold on there. Even today in Turkey, I mean, not just Ghana, in Turkey, a teenager was arrested over killing 2 police officers in a gun attack. I was actually going to add that to this story.
What? In a what?
2 police officers.
In a gun attack?
In a gun attack, 16-year-old.
What was a teenager doing with a gun?
My point exactly.
So you see, this is where we are. And this is what we are seeing. It is in our faces that the breakdown of the family and family structure is the problem. Corrupt politicians, people who not keep to their word. There was a policeman recently. There was a certain military man that was arrested for armed robbery. I don't know if you saw the news. How will you be a uniformed military personnel and be engaged in theft, even if it is alleged that you were part? Why are you the one it is alleged that you were part? What were you doing there? Why are you in a company of such people? Paul says, as for fornication, it should not even be named, it should not even be mentioned. It's not something we should even be discussing as a problem. Why do we have these things? Because we are not dating right, we are not marrying right. Then we come and push responsibility on pastors. We say moral decadence in society is because of pastors. What have we done? These people, don't they come from homes? Don't they come from families? So let's get this thing right. Even a pastor, the pastor that you're running to, if he doesn't take good care of his children, they will go wayward. Because the truth is universal. It applies to everybody, pastor or not. These teenagers are the way they are. We are having all these reports from secondary schools. This one has stabbed this one has taken someone's girl. This one has gone to. There was an incident where Anglican secondary school, supercars, somebody brought a gun to and spot somebody's. What is this? We need to really look at this parenting thing again. And again, secondary schools. We've stopped secondary school evangelism or even BB. We've stopped going to secondary schools. You remember we used to go to secondary schools all the time to go and preach. Now we don't go anymore. We are becoming comfortable in Accra. We are becoming comfortable in Kumasi, in Tamale. We are becoming comfortable in Sunyani. We are becoming comfortable wherever we are, thinking that, now our strategy is using social media to bring the people to us. We used to go to them. We used to go to do crusades in the communities. We used to go to do revivals. We used to do film show on a football park. People will come. We pray for them. We used to go to them. Now we are sitting in the churches and we are leveraging phones and internet to say people should rather come to us. That is not what we are supposed to be doing. So while we are talking about the parents to train their children, we too as pastors who are sort of like gatekeepers of this moral thing, we should go to the schools and peradventure by 1 or 2 messages or 1 or 2 ministrations, some of these demons that cause some of these things, because we know these are demonic things, they will be expatriated to wherever they came from. And we'll have some peace in the Ghana. To
have some peace in the Ghana. I've heard that in a long time. I mean, yesterday we were having a discussion about raising children the right way. And we sort of looked at scriptures and all that. The counselor was talking about, because, you know, I asked if she had people coming to her office with their children saying that, okay, at this point, I'm done. And she says a lot of people come. And I was asking, where is the gap? What is the issue? Because you seldom saw parents in those days seeking for professional help, you know, for their children.
Right?
Because by the time you are 8, you started washing your clothes and you know that the soap is... It's critical, you know, and I mean, for certain homes, like in my home, you don't give the excuse of, I don't like this church or something. And I mean, we used to move about a lot and there was no excuse at all. You
don't like your parents' church.
You don't like your parents' church.
You don't like your parents' church.
You don't want
in whose house?
Be there. And my mom will be like, okay, then go and call the one who advised you that you cannot like your parents' church and call them mother, because for here, this is how we roll. You know, and these were some of the things that were coming up yesterday, where children decide that this church it's my mother's church. So I want to be in this other church. So the teaching is different. You don't know what they are feasting or you don't know what they are teaching them. And then, but we also have a situation here, it's not even a situation, it's a culture here in Africa where community raises children. So I don't know, Pastor Buddy, when you say that the church, yes, we have a responsibility and all of that, but should that be so far from parenting? Because see, community raises children and we've turned out right.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The church
that's
has
true,
a role in raising children.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I agree totally. You know, very recently, Prophet Bernard L. Bernard, Nelson Nation, they were having a televised service, okay? And I don't know whether I don't think he planned it because it was impromptu. He turned to the one of the people, I think it was a keyboardist, and he said, you are here again. Why are you here? And it was strange. So, you know, he said, I told you not to come here again. Your church is across it. Then he turned to the people and he started telling, he said, I've told this guy in private, he doesn't want to listen, so I'll tell you, this guy's church is just here. He's a skilled player, no problem. I like his playing and everything, but this is not his church. His church is across the street over there. They are a smaller church, they are now coming up, but he keeps coming here. And he told the guy that I am going to hold your hand and go and hand you over back to your pastor. If he says you should come, you can come. You can't come and be playing over here because it's a bigger church. He sacked him. He said, go back to your church and go and be committed. That skill you are using here, go and use it there. And he started talking about people whose parents have churches and they'll go and be attending other people's churches. They will not help their father to build. They will not help their mother to build the church. It is a certain kind of mindset that will produce that kind of response, which is that I am not just here to maximize crowd. I just don't want people. First of all, I want people, I want it in the right way. Number 2, I'm not going to take someone's own, destroy someone's house to build mine. It's a mindset that said we are beginning, we don't care. We just want the people to come. You know, it speaks to where our mind is right now, even as a community. So when you say community raises children, it's true. And so the attitude of children now reflects, like Reverend Bibi was saying, the kind of community we have now. We are now in a place and a situation where the community has deviated so far from the discipline that we used to have, that the community is the one reinforcing the bad attitude, giving awards to the most nude, giving props to the most vulgar. You know, a certain man wants to become president now, and one of his main issues is things he said in the past. It's one of the main things he has to deal with. Because, you know, in addition to telling Ghanaians what he will do, he's now trying to tell us that he will not do The things I used to do, I do them no more. Now that's a song he has to sing everywhere. Because he told, like, some time ago, he said, don't tell anybody. He said his party is for fools. That's what he said. The party is now begging the delegate. He said it's for fools. At that time, he said all this as an MP. We said all these things as an MP. Now he wants to be flag bearer and it's pointing him. It just summarizes the kind of society that, and people were hailing him when he says, hey, it's an honest man. Hey, he speaks truth to the whatever. You can speak the truth. We need to draw a line and say that, okay, we don't say these things. But if you have a society that rewards things like that, well, it's only going to increase. And children are only going to pick up from what they see.
Yeah.
Children don't do what you tell them. They do what you do. They don't do what you say. They do what you do. If you want your child to be reading, yes, if you want your child to be reading books and you are always on your phone, you are wasting your time. If your child sees you reading books, a book, not a book on not Kindle. I didn't say Kindle. I say a book, a paper book. If your child sees you doing that, they will also do it. No matter how much you preach to them and say, go and take your book, not the phone, put the tablet down. But you are always on the tablet. You are always on the phone. So how should the child learn? They learn mostly by observation first. They copy what you do. All these boys now who are breaking girls' hearts, I blame fathers for the most part of it. All these unromantic boys we have in the church, we are now trying to save some of them. So are in the bad boys at the back. It's because we never saw our father buy our mother flowers. We never saw our father speak to our mother in a certain way. They also never saw their father. And they also never saw their father. It goes all the way back. So we are trying to change something that has been institutionalized by the community. We are having a hard time, but Charlie, the grace of God is available. We'll do our best.
Most definitely.
We'll do our best.
Reverend Baby, do you have anything to add to this before I move on? Because it looks like Pastor Buddy.
I think that but the brief thing I want to add is that there has been a major sociocultural and socioeconomic shift, you see,
right,
that makes all this communal upbringing of children a very big challenge. Because like you said, with I don't know where your mother was working. You understand? My mother is in the fashion industry. She's always worked from home. So we've always had a certain level of involvement and supervision that the average parent couldn't have with theirs. Today, many mothers are waking up just about as early as their husbands and leaving the home for as many hours as their husbands. And so the children are with house helps who themselves may have been coming from failed home environments. And so that is what is imbibed passively. So you come and spend some 3-4 hours with them, and they are with this house help for another 8-10 hours, and the person is picking their nose, is behaving a certain way. That is what they pick. So you see certain habits on your children. Ask where did you learn that from? And it's just a passive imbibe. Somebody said, they observe more than what you are telling them to do. And then so that's the socioeconomic part. And the sociocultural part. Today, my house I live in, for instance, my house that by God's grace I've been able to build, I have raised fence walls with my gate. I lock it out. So which community is going to help me to raise my child, really? I mean, the area in which I live, very few people know my children. You understand? Very few people know my children. And even when they want to help out, their feeling is that, Charlie, that's the big man's house. You don't tag their children. They may know the police. They may know the police or even the DC. They can harass you, and so on and so forth. So yeah. So a lot of stuff is breaking down because we are evolving. That's why I said at the beginning that we must have values, and those values must be nationalistic in nature. It shouldn't be religious. It shouldn't be political. It should be just who we are. Like when you go to Japan, they have certain things they clean up after themselves when it comes to their sanitation issue. It should be part of our national development plan. It should be right there in our educational system from preschool all the way to uni, and even become part of our ethic in the office.
Right.
Then gradually we'll see the change happening. But as it stands now, you see, one of the things I've seen in this part of our world is that we allow things to happen, then we respond. And oftentimes our response is the horses are bolted from the stable. So we are not able to do so much. And oftentimes, that because our responses are not well thought through, they sometimes even end up aggravating the problem. You understand? Yeah. So we ought to, I mean, I have many of my friends who have started having children at the time when their parents are still working. Can you imagine? So some of them, their parents, their kids are 3-4 years old, and their parents are entrepreneurs. They are running their own pharmacy businesses. They are running their own retail. They travel to go and bring. So who are you going to, even weekend, you want to leave the kids for their grandma or grandpa to
forget it.
You can also make some rounds. It's impossible. So we become heavily dependent on these helpers. They become a necessary evil. Sometimes they even bring their boyfriend and they are having all sorts of sexes in front of our children. I remember somebody about this was a family friend's daughter I brought to live with me because she had gotten admission to a school that was close to where I stay, and they were living very far away. And she didn't know that my wife could access the phone's cloud. And sometimes you see pictures that will break your heart. And some of these things, some of my kids are the ones who are asked to film it, and it's not healthy. Exactly. Yeah. Can you film this for me? And you see that they are showing portions and parts that you will have to take a whole lecture to explain to your child why such parts should not be viewed in such ways. Yes, some of our kids we think are virgins have been de-virginized by, especially our sons. They've been de-virginized by older households, but you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I know a story of a man of God who, as early as 7-8 years old, was already dating much older women, and it started with this sort of phenomenon where they are left in the care of aunties and some of these and they have no familial attachment, no communal attachment. So they just say, do you know what this is? And then they experiment with the kids and all those sort of things. So our social-cultural shift and socioeconomic shift has also really contributed to a large extent. And so, Pastor Badi, like you said, our seeding of parenting to churches and schools is not an altogether deliberate abandonment on the part of parents, but this working of parents and living home for long hours is what is causing the problem. That's why if you watch very carefully, the parents tend to want to pay more for a school that can care for the child from dawn till late after school when we can pay. So we'll pay. I mean, they are going to charge whatever $2,000 for the school fees, another $500 for extra care. We'll go for it because we can drop them on our way. Rush hour. The school is open by 5:36. They'll come and meet the child at the gate. You leave them. You're abandoned like a prison. And then when you're from work around 8 o'clock, you pass there, they bathe your child, and they bathe the child, he's had a supper, they've helped her to do her homework. So you literally have given birth just for the sake of continuing your legacy or your lineage. But really, when it comes to parenting, bonding, caring, it's just not there. So you can imagine that sometimes these kids are even rebellious, not because that's what they are, but they are trying to get your attention. I knew a boy like that one at motor school. Whenever his parents came to visit, you see his hand behind him, very respectful, but he was a super rowdy on campus. So later, we were able to draw the line. We were able to draw the line that at home he's not seen. He just wants to be seen. And I told one of my friends, because I seen one of my friends that the day this guy's parents are called to school for his behavior, I'm sure they will faint because they would not believe that those two natures exist in him. So we have a long way to go, and maybe what we can do at the educational level to augment is that we must start to pay for the counselors, professional counselors to come into the schools and also even into the churches, because pastors can do so much, but this thing is a professional thing, and if we can get them in there, get more of our members to train in these areas. They don't need to be pastors, but it's a form of ministry. If they have a calling, go learn it, and let's help to save our generation before we start to have all sorts of funny people now as presidents. We see a president giving a speech and you start vaping some shisha smoke. Hey, Ghanaians,
mercy, Lord.
I want to count now to tell you what happened.
Well, I wish I could take your last words, but I'll take all your submissions as last words. Very weighty.
Let Pastor Badi round up. I'm fine. Let Pastor Badi round up.
No, I think Reverend Bibi has killed it. Reverend Bibi has killed it.
Yes, Pastor Badi. Well, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to hear from Reverend Bibi and also Pastor Badi. It's, for me personally, it's like, I'm drawing from deep wells that I don't take for granted at all. And I know that parents who are watching, they're sort of like, going back to their notebooks and, changing things, because there are things that we have to learn and we have to do right. I don't know, but from the conversation we even had the last time about the Gen Z pastors. It means that it's going to every quarters, and we need some sort of a radical change. Some wind must blow.
Yes.
Some wind must blow. But thank you so much. We pray that your day is blessed. And Pastor Buddy, you should make dates, because by the end of September, we would have gone to Reverend BB's church to join the 7th anniversary celebration. Okay? Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, thank you so much, Reverend BB and Pastor Buddy. I almost called you Reverend Buddy. Receive it in the name of Jesus. Have a blessed day. And this is, we'll have to go for a break. And when we get back, the show continues. Do stay.
No matter how far you run away, you always come back to where you started.
Tortured, mutilated, fingers cut off.
I'll lend you the money. My boss believes in giving players another chance.
You don't know what to do if you don't have the money to pay back. Come and listen to me.
Sir, it's done. Good. 1 week. That's all you got to pay up.
You've been gambling. I can't.
Unfortunately, we're still chasing shadows. He's clearing the board to make way for something bigger.
How could you do this to us, God? Who's there?
I can fix this.
Greetings, welcome to Bishop G Live.
Get ready for the supernatural.
You can be a believer and it still looks like your life makes no sense whatsoever. We're gonna give you the most important key to help you discover your purpose in life. If you miss the glory of God, you've missed everything.
Join Bishop Gregory Toussaint from Miami, Florida, USA. Bishop G Live, every weekday at 7:30 p.m. only on Dominion TV.
Prayer is a daily necessity for daily triumph.
Africa, we must unite.
We are getting Abrahamic rewards, but we are running away from Abrahamic responsibilities.
Where should Africa sit and stand in this new world order?
Africa has the youngest, fastest growing population. That's a blessing, but it's also a challenge.
Yeah.
Who did God describe as the man after his own heart? David. Adam.
My experience, nothing short of amazing. I never believed I'll be able to do this. Dominion TV's Emerging Leaders program has taught me skills about marketing and copywriting.
My name is Danny Glover, and you're watching
Dominion TV.